You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mike Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? Mike from The Moose and the Loose. I hope you are doing well on this Friday. Today, we are talking about how to become more successful, and that could be applied to your personal life, it could be applied to your job, or if you're like me, it could definitely apply to your business. And of course, I'm going to look at it a little bit more with the business angle today, but you're going to see that the overall tip of the week is definitely useful for anybody listening this. Even if you're retired, my friend, yes, you can still be successful or make major improvement. So here's the thought. This year is a really important year for me. I cannot really explain all the details, but I have some major moves to make on my side for the business and everything, and to enable and to be able to do that, I need to scale. I need to grow the business. I need to make it better. And of course, I'm not thinking about selling, so don't start playing any rumors like this. My goal is to just improve DSR, and I want to make some big moves. But to make big moves, you need some resources, right? So the thing is, to make those improvements, I need to scale. And I'm always searching for growth. This is having a growth mindset is crucial, especially if you're a business owner, because reaching a plateau is bad. It's pretty much the first sign of a decline. It's similar to a company not increasing its dividend for more than a year, while an absence of dividend growth is the first step to a dividend cut. So an absence of revenue growth for a business, especially at my size, is one step. You're just one step away from a decline, and things could turn sour. So there are two types of growth. You have the hockey stick, which is exponential. So you double, triple year over year, crazy growth. And then you have linear growth, where you grow by a certain percentage, which is cool because your business is growing and you're going at your own rhythm, and you can tell you that story, and it's great. And this is pretty much where I'm at. I mean, I'm double-digit growth year over year. Sometimes I even reach 30, 40% growth from one year to another year. So I'm almost at the hockey stick level, but not there yet. And then here's my big struggle. I'm looking for ways to reach that exponential growth instead of just going linear. So everything's going well. I just want everything to go faster. But that's in my DNA. Everything I do, in my life, I always want it to be stronger, bigger, faster. It's just the way I am. So if I run in the morning, I just want to find ways to improve my pace, to go faster, to feel better after my run, to run more kilometers and so on. So I do that with everything that I have in my life. This is just how I am. I'm never satisfied, but this is how I am satisfied in life. So it's kind of ironic, right? So going back to my struggle. So I'm trying to find ways to grow faster. And of course, when you're doing something and that works, well, if you keep on doing it, the only thing that you may think that will happen is the same result, right? I think it was Einstein that defined madness as doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different kind of result. So if I keep on doing what I do, I know I'm going to continue to grow the business, but not at the pace that I want. So I'm trying to find ways to explore other possibilities. And I'm in the middle of that reflection right now. I'm looking at multiple ways, I'm thinking, and one thing I realize is there's a big trap here. So if you want to grow faster, if you want to make a major improvement in your life, the trap is to go for the next shiny object. So if you want to lose weight, it could be a new diet or a new training program or a new seminar. If you want to start a business, but you're not too sure why, then you go into multiple direction. For job, it's the same thing. You're just thinking, oh, I'm going to change job. I'm going to do this new course. I'm going to become another worker in another field, and I'm going to get some paperwork done. And that's a big problem, because you're going after the shiny object, and most of the time, the only thing that does is it boosts your dopamine, so you feel excited. It's a brand new thing, and we're like this, right? Every time that there's a brand new thing in our life, we're just like super excited about it, and besides that excitement, there's nothing else. So you just spend a huge amount of energy, and maybe it's going to work, maybe it's not going to work, but most of the time, the interest, the excitement will fade out faster than you can get results. And then what you're going to be doing is to go on the another shiny object, right? And I see that for investors too. Like for a year or two, if they have like okay result or bad results, they're just going to say, oh, well, ETF investing doesn't work. I'm going to jump on dividend growth investing. And then two years later, they realize, yeah, I heard now that momentum trading is like the best thing. So they leave dividend growth investing to momentum trading, or they go for cover calls, or they go for crypto, or any other like hype of the moment. But you're not going to get something out of that, right? If you want exponential results with your investment strategy, you need to stick to a strategy and keep on doing it. And that's where it struck me. So what you have to do to be more successful or to have major improvement, it's not just do what you do. So that would be the definition of madness, right? Because you cannot just keep on doing it, but more of what you do. So repetition. And I heard that from a gym guy who was saying, if you want to have like big biceps, you're only like X amount of reps of achieving it. So if you do, let's say 100,000 reps, you're going to get the biceps that you want. Now, the key here is, are you willing to pull up those 100,000 reps or 10,000 reps or whatever it is? And it's in the boring work, repetitive work, but things that are making a sense, that are helping your business, your career, your personal life. So going to the gym, so same thing. Some people, they say, I go to the gym like 4 times a week and it's not working, I'm not losing weight. Well, how hard do you work there, and how long do you get there, and how many reps of each of stuff that you do? So if you improve all of that, well, then you're going to make it. And I got this revelation where I spoke with another business owner in a similar field that I'm work with, like in online business, and he has a huge following, like more than 300,000 people follow him on Twitters and on other platform. And I asked him, like, okay, so what's the secret behind that? Because I mean, I have like 25,000 followers on Twitter, so it's okay, but I mean, it's nothing impressive. And then he told me, he's like, well, when I started, I used to publish like posts, like of course with value, but every hour, 24/7, 365 days a year. So every hour he had a scheduled post on Twitter that would go live with like adding value, leading people to some lead magnets to gather emails and build his followers. When you think about that, you're just like, oh, that's cool. So I'm going to just go on Twitter and act mad and then write a bunch of stuff. But thinking of 24 great ideas per day for an entire year, and he did that for more than a year. So you can imagine that this is a lot of posts. So when you're thinking about that, 365 times 24, that makes it 8,760 tweets. So 9,000 tweets will get you to the result that you want. You will build a huge following, and that's going to be fine. So now the only thing I have to do is to do those reps. And this is boring work. This is repetitive work. This is me going on my computer, typing in a bunch of ideas, exploring them, breaking them down into bits and pieces to reach the goal. So lesson of today, if you want major improvement, find what works in your life and just do more of that. So by doing more, you're going to get to your results. Unfortunately, doing more also means doing repetitive stuff, boring stuff, and it's in that grit work day after day that you're going to make those major improvements. So I'm still in the research on my side. I'm still looking at options, but this is what has been pondering into my mind over the past few weeks. I hope that you have enjoyed this podcast, Dear Moose. If you did, well, please take a second, go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to the podcast. Give me a 5-star rating. It helps me a lot to grow the podcast, get more listeners like you, and to help more people. That's the only goal of that podcast anyway. So, all right, Moose, have yourself an amazing weekend. It's a long weekend, but I will still have a podcast recorded for Monday, and we're going to talk again. So until then, don't forget to, stay invested. Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose and the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right? You're here for fun, you're here for information and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy the show and do your due diligence after it.